I have no patience for useless things. Moments like this require someone who will act. Who will do the unpleasant thing, the necessary thing.
Power. It is regularly sought and often corrupts. Few have mastered the art of it, but Frank Underwood is certainly one of them. In this series, I want to explore those characters who display and use power effectively, sometimes for better, but many a time for worse, and where better place to start than with House of Cards. Frank is a Senate whip from the South who is determined to climb the greasy pole in politics. He is a realist and is very much aware of the backstabbing plotting that comprises his type of life, and he certainly doesn't shy away from it. Throughout the many seasons, there are a bounty of instances that best display Frank's ability to demonstrate power, so I shall focus on one that caught my eye with a recent rewatch, the initial Peter Russo exchange. Peter, unlike Frank, is a man with one too many vices, which in the game of politics is something that will undoubtedly be exploited against you. His focus is less on power and more on leisure. His mishaps with women and drinking land him in a difficult position with the police, where he is subsequently thrown in a jail cell shortly after pulling the "I'm an important guy" card. But Peter's stint in prison is short-lived, because much to his naivety, he believes he has been freed at the mercy of his own significance and status. Frank, looking for a whipping boy, catches wind of Peter's naughty behaviour through his interconnected web of informers and favour-owers, and in looking to use him, invites him in, after which the magic happens. Upon Peter's smitten entry to Frank's office, Frank is immediately facing away from him, and instead is at the drinks trolley, the first initial display of power throughout this exchange. It's a small thing, but it immediately sets the lay of the land for the discourse that is about to go down, as it suggests Peter's insignificance in the eyes of Frank. Frank's first words then involve asking Peter if he would like a drink, setting the topic for discussion and the only thing that Frank really wants to talk about. Now, the drink that is offered to Peter is a blend, a weaker beverage, to which he then gets the order wrong, purposefully, but not at Peter's complaint, and upon noting, removes the glass that just dangled in front of Russo's gaze. This not only confirms all of Frank's suspicions, but also sets Peter on uneasy ground, should he then later challenge Frank's assertions. After this deliberate miscommunication, Frank then shifts the tone, disingenuously, and asks about the City of Love, not long before interjecting with a very calm statement about Peter's indiscretions. Peter, struck by the shift in topic, defaults to denial and fails to take responsibility for his actions, as the weak often look to do, but it seems Frank expected this and tells him,
Drink up. You could use a little courage right now.
The use of tense here is another clever power ploy by Frank, as it implies that there is a degree of certainty to the statement with which Frank has just made. Peter will be put in front of the ethics committee for his naughtiness. And this is important to note, because it paints Frank as a saviour for Peter. When he offers him an alternative, it is seen as a miracle, because Frank has subtly established certainty in his remarks. Following this up with a command to drink for the sake of courage not only demeans Peter further, but shows who is in control. This remark is about as much of a power play as you can get, and it's just a testimony to Frank's boldness and cold execution with these statements. And I think what makes Frank such a domineering character is the fact that he doesn't just talk in layman's terms. When he challenges the truthful status of Russo's claim about loyalty, he doesn't just simply say, "I'm not convinced." Rather, he says, "You must hold God in very low self-esteem." It is little quips like this that illustrate Frank's communicative prowess, and further entrenches his position of power in his discourse due to the clarity and gravitas with which he speaks. Though this is just one of the many instances of a display of power throughout the series, I did think that this particular scene deserved a mention, because I just found every action within it to be so highly purposeful and calculated. It really exemplifies Frank's vast intellect. It's the little things, like the dragging of the glass, the tone and the body language, that really do mark Frank Underwood as an archetype for the powerful individual. I thought the idea of power would be an interesting notion to explore throughout film and television, so if you have any characters you would like me to examine and deconstruct, then please put them in the comments below. There will certainly be more videos to come dissecting future exchanges between Frank and his counterparts, so fret not if you are wanting a more comprehensive assessment of his character. I know it's been a while since my last video, but I'm hoping to get back on a more regular schedule over the next few months. If you enjoyed what you saw here, then consider subscribing, and thank you for watching.